Good morning and welcome to the Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Imagine a palm size gadget, small, and it's called Fly Crow Tugs. And do you know this is nothing but a robot? And this robot is based on the nature and the animal life. It is faster than a speeding bullet. It's more powerful than a wasp sting. And it is based on the biology of wasps and geckos. This robot is able to lift and move objects more than 40 times its own weight. So naturally, this palm size is a prototype and it can be expanded, it can be increased proportionately. And as a matter of fact, 40 times its own weight as it can carry and move. The spine of the robot is based on the spine of the wasp, and the holding capacity is based on the basis of the feet of the geckos. You know, geckos in the ceiling just create a vacuum and they're stuck. You can't move them. They can move themselves. Now, this small robot, one is greased, and even as it is, can be used to perform very dangerous tasks. They can be used for rescue missions, and they can be taught to work unitedly and complete bigger, complicated, and dangerous tasks. What a relief to the man, and what a saving in the health cost. Workers in the construction industry, especially in the railway industry, or in the hazardous trades, always have a danger of falling, have a danger of being mowed down by beams and other things, but they can easily be replaced by Fly Crow Tug. Now, Fly Crow Tug was made this year, and already the commercial production has started. As a matter of fact, the first biggest order was placed by Italian manufacturers of the pesticides, because the human beings, when they are exposed to the fumes of the pesticides, suffer. So that dangerous task, that hazardous task, has been entrusted to the team of Fly Crow Tugs. Based on nature, this is the real research that you are utilizing nature to enable human beings lead a safer and a better life. As a matter of fact, one day I'm going to talk to you how nature is the source for all research. As a matter of fact, there is no originality. The only originality is that the man has been able to understand, comprehend, and grasp, and then duplicate that effort in a different manner. But 90% of the research is based on the contribution of nature. And this one, which is faster than a speeding bullet and more powerful than the sting of a wasp, able to move and lift objects 40 times its age, is one such research. And now let's see, our major issue nowadays is keeping carbon dioxide out of atmosphere. Looking at the state of affairs of pollution in countries like India, where in Delhi they are telling that the air quality is hazardous and dangerous to human beings. Peking, we have seen people going around with a mask on their face, and the same is happening in Delhi. So one big step has to be to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. And the best way to reduce emission is to supply power, either less power or produce such power which does not emit carbon dioxide. And most of the effort till now has been focused on capturing carbon dioxide or in reusing carbon dioxide. You remember we had talked about the Peking experiment and the success in converting carbon dioxide into diamonds, into paints and inks. But there's a further advancement. In the carbon capture process, we use a solution called amine, which is a derivative of ammonia, to bind with the carbon dioxide and prevent it from entering the atmosphere. But the problem is that the amines and carbon dioxide need to be separated again. And this way, amine can be reused and carbon dioxide can be safely stored. But now, a new research has been carried out that uses carbon dioxide to build batteries. This will reduce the cost of energy by 30%. And the battery normally is made of three major components: a cathode, which provides electrons, an anode, which receives the electrons, and an electrolyte, a substance, which conducts electricity between the anode and cathode. Now, the idea of using carbon dioxide as a component of electrolyte has been there, but there was all a problem because carbon dioxide is not an reactive element and it requires high voltage in order to conduct electricity. And it's very inefficient to be used in battery. But the innovation always comes in. So a team of researchers have used the same trick for carbon dioxide capture process to make a carbon dioxide based electrolyte and associated battery system that carries a voltage comparable to the modern lithium gas batteries. This is really a big breakthrough in reducing carbon dioxide emissions. On the one side, you are using the polluting source as a base for construction. So automatically it will be reduced. Secondly, another major thing is that here, when the carbon dioxide is used in the batteries, A is being reduced, taken away from the atmosphere. B, the same product would charge the battery. It will be a self-charging battery. And this component of carbon dioxide and the electrolyte would be recharging it continuously. So the impact of recharging would be reduced appreciably. My grouse against the electric car is this, that they say that you don't use the petroleum or the gas product, but you use electricity. And they forget that the electricity is being produced by the same fossil fuels. So indirectly, you are still polluting. The only thing is you think that you are not polluting, but the reality is that the pollution remains the same. Here, since it's a self-recharging, there will be no pollution. If the electric cars could be self-recharging, then the pollution would not be there and the people would have no complaint at all. This is what is important, and this is what the scientists should keep in mind when they are conducting a research. And now, another thing, coming back to the force of nature being utilized for good or for bad. And what I'm going to tell you might sound like a science fiction, but it's a reality. And this is based on a research program funded by the US government. Now, originally the program was that the research should be done on insects. And these insect allies should be used to dust pesticides and other things, or rather not pesticides. They would have a virus carrying capacity, and they'll be used in agriculture to increase production. The virus would be benign virus. On this, the government of USA spent $45 million. And for the last 4 years, the research has been carried on. And now they have come up with that product, which is to use crop protecting insects. However, there is a darker side to it. The moment this research was done, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency of USA, DAPRA, said, well, why not use these aphids and whiteflies to infect crops? So instead of using to protect, they are used to infect crops in the enemy country. And these tailor-made viruses can deliver genes to the matured plants. The purpose was to increase the productivity, but the negative use can also be there. And so the crop protecting insects can be turned into bioweapons. This is something which is really, really shocking. But then all research is like that. The purpose initially is for the good of the mankind. However, it is converted into destructive uses. And this latest technology, this is basically a biological weapon. It's a bioweapon. And the insects are coming. You cannot even protect against that. And the program has been seen now as an effort to develop biological agents for hostile purposes and also their means of delivery. This is something which is a double-edged weapon. You can use this to increase the productivity, or you can use it to destroy the complete food chain by sending these lab-made aphids and butterflies. Choice is yours. But these three developments which I have talked today show that in case the human will and the human ingenuity wants, it can create solutions to all the problems. Secondly, nature can be used as a great master. We can always adapt nature to our use. However, the choice to use that is our own. Now, the research in the insect allies, as I said earlier, can be misused. And the scientists, those who conducted the research, have been forced to hand over all their research because they were funded by the government. So the positive thing is becoming negative thing. And the danger is that this Cold War, which is already there, in case it's converted into a hot war, and then these bioweapons can be used. But I'm worried about another thing. What protection is there? There's some terrorist agency does not steal it. We know Pakistan made nuclear weapons after stealing it, the secret. Dr. Ayub Khan stole those secrets from the Netherlands, and they developed their own atom bomb. So what prohibits Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Taliban either from stealing it or copying it? And there can always be some sympathizer of those organizations working here. So that danger is there. And now the human beings have to decide which way to go. Keep on using the frontiers of knowledge, ever advancing frontiers of knowledge, for its own good or for its destruction. Nevertheless, we have traveled further towards the never-ending frontiers of knowledge. And then we'll discuss new developments next week. Thank you very much.